it's clear. No money
Hey, it's No Money Millionaire. Today we're going to talk about 5 steps to financial freedom as a real estate investor. And for those of you who stick around till after the last one, I'm going to break a real deal down, how I did one just recently with no money out of pocket and no credit. So,
no money millionaire, let's go. No money millionaire, stand up, no handouts, no fear in here, no money, no excuses, no limits.
the first one, it comes down to your beliefs. Shift your beliefs. If you don't believe you can, you're never going to do it. And I know that sounds cliche, but here's the truth. You can't build what you don't believe is possible. When I first considered real estate, I faced rejection after rejection. People told me that I wasn't ready, I didn't know enough, I didn't have the credit for the down payment or any of those things that everyone thinks is necessary. And then also everyone was like, well, what if everything goes wrong? What if you fail? So instead of letting that stop me, I used that to propel me. I used that as my motivation that I could prove that I can do this. Every no became proof that I was at least trying, that I was that much closer to a yes. So ask yourself right now, what belief is holding you back? What is it? What belief is holding you back right now? Now, number 2, you got to turn your excuses into action. Excuses are just unchallenged thoughts. So let's challenge them. So let's do an exercise. Write down 5 excuses you've told yourself about why you can't start investing in real estate. And now circle the one that feels the realest. Now, next to each excuse, write down why that actually might not even be true. And finally, think of a solution to overcome those excuses. Here's an example about changing the excuses or what you feel are roadblocks. Instead of saying that you can't afford it, start asking yourself, how can I fund this? That little shift right there is all that it's going to take. Stop telling yourself you can't. Stop telling yourself you don't have it. And then start asking yourself, what is it? What do you need? What is it going to take? You do this and you'll start seeing possibilities instead of those roadblocks. Number 3, ask better questions. Now that one, that's what we were just touching on. So ask better questions. Successful investors don't ask, why can't I? They ask, how can I? So here are some better questions you can ask. Could you partner with someone? So when you're looking at something, so you can look at it and say, could I partner with someone that has what I don't have to be able to make this happen? That's how I did my first deal. I did no money out of pocket. I needed a down payment and credit. I brought someone to the table. They were able to bring the credit to the table. And I was able to use equity off of the property from my father to actually use as the down payment. So the first question is ask, can you partner with somebody to do this? The next one, find out if the seller is open to seller financing. And again, like I said, if you stick around after number 5, I'm going to break down a deal that we did that was seller finance. And I'm going to break the whole thing down. It was no money out of pocket, no credit. I'll go over the whole deal at the end of this. Next question, could you do sweat equity instead of cash? These are all used every day. It's just reframing how you look at them, creative ways that you can structure these so that you can put this deal together right from where you're at right now. You don't have the money? Try to see if you can find a partner who does. See if the seller will finance the property. You don't have excellent credit. Maybe you can get someone who can come in with you that has the good credit, or the seller financing won't require the credit. These are all ways you can work with your situation exactly where it is right now. And then finally, can you offer some type of value instead of capital? Does the property need fixing? There's something you can do there that will work as your down payment. So you always have to look at every situation. Don't ever count it out. Don't ever say, I can't do this, or this won't happen. I don't have that. You look at that situation and you say, okay, what do I need to make this happen? How can I fund this? How can I get the seller to want to sell it and to give it to me? Seller finance. finance, partners, any of these different things. You just got to find out the pieces and how you need to pull them together. So when you start doing that, when you start asking better questions, you open the doors that you didn't even know existed. All of those excuses or all of those reasons that you believed were stopping you from getting property, they're not true. Just start learning to ask better questions and you're going to start getting different results and doors are going to open you didn't even know existed. Number 4, find your motivation. Why are you going to do this? Why do you want to do this? And that motivation is what's going to keep you going when you hit the spots that you feel maybe this isn't working or this just isn't possible. So ask yourself, why do you want this? Because without that why, it'll be that much easier to quit when things get hard or when you run into your first defeat. So here's an exercise. Write down your dream scenario. What would financial freedom look like to you? Now ask yourself, how can I fund that? What's it going to take to get that? With me, I wanted a certain amount of rental income coming in every month. I was trying to replace my W-2 job. I knew what I had coming in a month. I needed to get that to come in from rental income. Then I knew that I could leave my regular job and do real estate full time. So whatever that number is it a fix and flip that's going to get you there? Is it rentals that's going to get you there? But write down your dream scenario. What will financial freedom look like for you? And then ask, what's it going to take to fund that? How many apartments will I need? How many fix and flips do I need to do? And write down 3 possible solutions. Even if they feel like a stretch right now, that's not important. Just go through this exercise. Write down your dream scenario. What's financial freedom look like to you? Then write down how can you fund that? And write 3 possible options, 3 possibilities, even if they don't feel real right now. For me, I was trying to leave my W-2. I wanted to be able to buy back my time. I wanted to be able to have my time and still be able to walk away from my job. So that was what I needed. That was my motivation. That vision kept me going even when I encountered my first defeat. Number 5, defeat your daily roadblocks. Even with a strong mindset, old habits are hard to break. You'll always hear that little voice in your head telling you, you can't do this. You don't have what it's going to take. They're going to tell you no. These little thoughts or that voice you've had in your head that's prevented you from making your first move, that'll be there. So even with a strong mindset, those are hard to break. So when that happens, go back to that list of excuses that you've written down and read your solutions out loud. So repeat this often because that repetition rewires your brain for success. And this is where the transformation begins. And now it's time to build. So your challenge for today, write down those excuses, flip them into solutions, and ask one better question about how you can start today. So if you made it this far with me, I want to thank you. I want to ask you, if you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be having more of these types of videos coming out. And like I said before, if you've made it this far, I'm going to break down a real deal that I just recently did. It was a seller finance deal. I helped somebody. They didn't have credit. They didn't have a down payment. They had never bought a home before. They were renting. They had to move from where they were. And so they were stuck. And they were talking to me, asking if I had a rental for them. And I said, why aren't you trying to get a place on your own? And then he hit me with all those reasons, all those excuses. I don't have money. I don't have credit. I've never done any of this. I said, well, you don't need it. All you got to do is just look. And so, what to look for and how to go and find it. And so we did. This one came right off of Craigslist. He went and he found a seller finance. He was able to negotiate doing some handyman work. There was an overhang on a porch that was leaking inside the downstairs apartment. Now, this was a triplex. 2 of the units were occupied. 1 was not. The one he was going to move into himself. So he was able to negotiate doing the handyman work in place of his down payment. So he went into this without a credit check, without any money. He was able to negotiate a certain amount of time to come in there, do the handyman work, and then that counted as his down payment. And he was able to live on site while he did it. And when he closed, he was collecting rent that day from the other 2. And the other 2 are enough to cover the house payment. So he's able to live in his unit for free. He has the other other two paying for the seller financing note that he negotiated. So he went from having to move, not being able to find a place, going to rent, they're going to run your credit, they're going to want your first and last to move in. But instead, he was able to buy a triplex with no credit, no money out of pocket, collecting rent from day one. That's seller finance, and that's the no money method. So if you made it this far, I want to thank you. I appreciate your support. Again, hit the like button. It helps a lot. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to have a lot more of these videos coming. No Money Millionaire.